Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of Production Line with me, Murphy. We're picking up where we left off last time. We've just unlocked the fit body section, so we can actually fit a body frame, or we can fit roof, and we can fit doors. But as you can see, there's all these other areas that we can actually research and get included. So we can actually look at building a second production line where we are separating these three here into three different sections. So trying to kind of work within the same sort of actually, do you know what, this thing is not keeping up anymore. Let's get some more chassis built. Let's just go crazy and have 4 robots on there. Right, okay, so I'm going to remove this one now, and what we're going to do is we're going to build our sections up slowly. So we've got let's pop them here, so, and let's put a yeah, I haven't done that yet, so let's resource conveyor, let's put that in. We can now do fit roof, so he's not quite finished there yet. Let's wait for him to finish. That's yeah, he's nearly there. The beauty as well about the updates is that you can actually when you destroy all this lot, you will actually get full credit for it, which is absolutely brilliant. It makes a big difference to your finances. It's at the beginning of the game. So let's wait for this car to finish and get out of the way. There we go, doing the last job on there. Perfect. And we can now demolish that and that and that. So we've got our fit body. Let's go for fit roof. You okay putting that there? Yes. And can we fit doors there? No, we can't. So let's rotate this slightly and drop him here. Alright, so let's make sure we, and look at that, perfect positioning. Hang on, what's going on there? Okay, it's perfect positioning. Everything was all lined up beautifully. So we can go over here and connect and round and through and down again. Okay, so we should actually this that must have slowed down. In the past, that thing used to churn them out like nobody's business. And we had such a massive backlog, it was unbelievable. So let's have a look at how this is broken down. So we've got one fit body here. That is 26.57. There we go. So here we've got 20 minutes and 25 seconds to put the body frame on. Now, let's just actually upgrade this. So we're now down to 16 minutes 40. Then we've got 4 minutes 30 to fit the roof, but we're going to buy all our extra robots. And then also here we can have sunroof, the panoramic sunroof, an open top, so a convertible, and we've got our predictive stock control. I think on here we've got nothing else as an option. And then fit doors we have as options nothing other than at this moment in time to be able to fit everything else. So if we look at that, so that's 16 minutes, because we're going to get another another vehicle into here. So 16 minutes is now the longest time a car will take to come through here, whereas these are 26 minutes. So let's watch this car being built. Speed it up as well. And on to the next section. Oh, typical, look at that. Just as I'm in the middle of something. Right, we can now actually start building or unlocking the research to build each of those individual areas. And he's off again. Insufficient resources. Oh dear me. Right, okay, so that car has taken about 10 minutes less than these two to build. So that makes a massive difference to the length of time we've got for cars coming through. So that improves our efficiency quite substantially. Alright, so we've also got a massive backlog here on these painting, and the only thing we can do to upgrade it is to have predictive stock until we actually segregate it. So now we've got our engine specialists and research available, so now they're doing the paint specializing, so we can actually start splitting down the actual paint, etc. So that requires, also requires, but that unlocks, we can't separate that yet. And what else we got? So we have opened up this lot. So we got this accessory specialize. That's in the queue. So yeah, perfect. So we've got a couple of more things to go. So we should have the actual engine function here. So this fit. No, that's not fit body. We've got this section here. Fit engine that takes 18 minutes. We can now break that down into 5 sections, so we can speed that whole process up. Okay, now because I would like to start making some different trucks, vehicles, and I want to really show you the difference between each line. What we're going to do is we're going to take this off. Oops. We're going to disconnect this section. We're going to basically remove everything here. And what I'm going to do is we're going to start our whole new line. So bear with me for 30 seconds. Okay, so we've just finished our researching our accessory specializations, so we can now do horn manufacture, lights manufacture, seats manufacturing, air conditioning, and windscreen manufacturing. So that's all areas that can actually improve things. We can also break down further parts of this tech tree. So there's body frame specialists. We can have front and rear bumpers installed separately. We can have the arches installed separately. We can have a spoiler that we actually make. Looking at the doors, we can have the panels made. We can have the window manufacture. We can have the wing mirror manufacture. Looking at the roof manufacture, we can have a sunroof or a panoramic sunroof. So they're all areas that we are realistically we do want to actually unlock and research. But where do we start? I am thinking along the lines of, we've opened up everything there. Maybe what we should start do is open up other areas just to improve things. And I'm also going to add the other areas on the first level to the research queue. So we can basically, actually I'm going to put that actually at the top. We're going to start with that now, research now, add to queue, add to queue, add in queue, oops, administration, research center, add to queue, and factory expansion. Alright, we'll have to do that on its own. So we'll leave that running. I've removed everything now from this section here, and we are going to look at using this side of the actual factory. So we're looking here, we've got new chassis assemblies. We can now fit axles, we can now fit undercarriage, and we can actually fit a fuel tank. So we can actually break that down as further as well. So let's start that. So we will create our chassis assembly, which was this whole unit. That is now going to be a chassis. That's going to be fit axles. Then we're going to go to fit undercarriage. Then we're going to go to fit fuel tanks. Then we're going to go on to fit body frame. And we're going to just leave this as it is at the moment with only a couple of spaces between. So that was our fit roof, fit doors. Now paint. What can we do on paint? Well, we can actually undercoat paint now. We can dry undercoat. We can paint finish. And we can dry finish. So we've got a whole row there. And let's just reduce that down. Oops, there we go, and there we go, and there we go. So we've now got fit powertrain. So let's drop that in there. We can fit radiator. We're getting a bit close to there, but we're okay. Fit radiator, fit exhaust, fit wheel assembly, fit steering wheel assembly. And what have we got on accessories? We have got fit lights. Let's have a think. We want to bring the car out over here eventually, so let's do lights. Let's rotate this. Let's put horn, fit seats, fit windscreen, and we've got fit dash. Okay, so that's those. We will then have our electronics. We could technically just put them back in here, so maybe I'll do that actually instead of sending it all the way down. So we can do that. Nice single long route all the way down. Alright, let's get our importers in place. And we could do it over here. Oops. Now we have got 2 routes. Is everything connected? And do that. And we'll also get this lot all connected as well. And also connect that up to this section, because as we saw previously, if we have other areas that are not receiving the parts from another area, we can actually get them in another section. Right, okay, so bearing in mind our, let's just go back over to here, into there. So this assembly system here, that will do it in 10 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, so we have now, bearing in mind it's always going to be the slowest system that's going to hold everything up. So fit axles, that is 6.43 with no upgrades. Our undercarriage, that's 2 minutes, so we're still 6.43. Fuel tank, that's 4 minutes. So we've basically knocked off 4 minutes off the manufacturing of this car. We could increase production by adding robots, but at the moment we now fit in this body panel, which takes 20 minutes. So that is now our new bottleneck. So that's going to be holding everything up. So we can then, as you can see, the other cars have flown through. Okay, if we look down here, we've got a car going through the undercoat, so that's 3 minutes or just short of 4 minutes. Drying is 12 minutes. Okay, so we kind of think we need to get to the sort of 12-minute mark. And the same with painting, that's 4 minutes, and drying again, that's 15 minutes. Then we've got a powertrain. So if we look at, so if that's basically that whole section here, the drying time of 12 minutes. The finishing coat is actually the longest at 14 minutes. So if we look at this section, that's 14 minutes opposed to 34 minutes. So that is a significant increase in efficiencies. Okay, so we have got next section, we've got the fit powertrain. So this is the engine section of the game here. So this takes just short of 18 minutes with 4 robots. So over here, so we've got fit powertrains, that's 2 minutes 45. Fit radio, 3 minutes 12. So that's the longest so far. 3 minutes 12. That's only 3 minutes 3. So the radiator still is the longest. Wheel assembly. That's 6 minutes. So that is now the longest point for this. 7 minutes 18. So the steering wheel is now the fiddliest, and the lights are just short of, or just over 3 minutes. Fit horn is just over 3 minutes. Fit seats is 3 minutes. So we're kind of going into the next section of the accessories here by having those. So you're talking here that the you're talking 6 minutes or so for this section here. So wheel assembly, 6.5 minutes. So we've gone from an 18 minutes or nearly 19 minutes manufactured to about 6 minutes. Now if we look at our fitting accessories, we're talking just short of 12 minutes. So our fitting accessories are our lights, so that's going to be 3:30. That's going to be 3 minutes. We've got 4 minutes for the windscreen and 1 minute for the dash. So we've taken that down from just short of 12 minutes down to 4 minutes as the longest any car will sit here. Now bear in mind it's a case of, yeah, okay, the car has to go through each of those stages, but it's how quickly a car gets put through those stages and has those little extra bits added to it. It may add up to the whole length of time as these things. So let's say we're saying on that we're talking just short of 12 minutes. So we're looking here 1 minute. We're now up to 5 minutes. 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. 9, 10, 11 and a half minutes. So with no robots, we are just short of this. So we can actually put robots on it to improve it even further. Okay, so and we left the electronics here with the 2 quality checks in place because quite frankly I don't think we need to worry at the moment. We have a massive backlog up here with fitting the body frame. Now if I'm right, so we go to body frame, we've got a number of other areas that we can actually increase the speed of this light by breaking it down similarly. So that's always a good thing. We've got loads of cars now, 9 available, all with that 40% premium. That's probably because I actually increased the price on it, but do you know what? We've still got 1 million. Let's have a look at our market share. So we're producing sales of 9, we have 6 per hour, and we've got 18 customers per hour. So do you know what? I'm not too worried. Right, okay, so we have opened up, we're on advanced production now, and then we're going to open up actually, do you know what, we're going to do that now. Already researched. Okay, I've already done that, so I should be able to open up these. Alright, you have the option to expand. Costs us 10,000 per hour. Right, so if we're looking at this, we want to start thinking about what can we do to improve our body frame. So we can upgrade, so it'll give us 10% speed for 1 robot, another 7.5% speed on top of the 10 for an extra one, and then we're going to get only a 5% increase there. So we've taken that down from about 20 minutes down to 16.4 minutes. Okay, perfect. Right, how are we doing finances? We've got 1.2 million, which is grand. We've got research going on. We're on to the advanced power. We want to be able to have the high power output, because if we are actually producing our own power, then we will actually save on our production costs, because at the moment it doesn't actually show us it here, but it shows that there's the number. So we're producing or using 24,000-ish maybe kilowatts, depending on what that is, every moment. So once we get some power systems installed, we'll start reducing the amount we're having to purchase. So we've got 10 cars sat there. That's quite a number. On my previous game, I did get to the stage where I was producing something like 20 odd cars or so. However, there was always parts missing, which was do my head in. Right, so we've kind of got to the stage where we don't really need both of these. We've got such a backlog, it's unbelievable. That is still working, that's okay, it's not been a bug. So I'm in the mindset that, you know what, because I've got no cars coming through here, these lines are dead. Let's take that one out. So bearing in mind, looking at this sort of cost, it's only when your machines are running that you do get the costs. Okay, so that's working quite well. Right, so now we've got this backlog. Only lasted for a few moments. So that's 11 minutes. If we zoom out, you can actually see where your backlogs are. So yellow means it's green is good, yellow is I'm waiting. And if we go up here, nope, actually they're not doing too bad either. They're just saying they're just waiting. If they were there for a long time, you'll be seeing it being red in color, so that's good. Right, okay, I think let's have a look. Where are we at? We nearly got advanced production, so we can make our own other bits and bobs, which is brilliant. What I think we'll do is we'll fire through a bit of footage offline so that I can get a lot more researched. So next time we can then see what each of these sections look like and researching it. So I'll see you in a moment. Okay guys, we have jumped forward by approximately half a day, maybe a bit more, a bit less, and I've made some significant changes to improve efficiencies. Now, at the moment we've got 10 cars in the stockpile. If we go to our marketplace, we are producing 11 per hour now, and we are selling 8 per hour, and it's saying a bit stagnant, because cars are overpriced. So we're currently on a 30% premium. I'm going to reduce that just slightly, just so that we don't start getting a stupid number of cars building up, because that's when our money goes down. So what have I done to improve the production? So first of all, I've got the extra body frame place installed. So that is basically producing 2 body frames are being installed every 17 minutes. So essentially 8.5 minutes or so, a new frame is sent down to the fit roof section. And if we scroll down here to the painting, we have got 3 sets of dryers for both types of paint finish, and that's because after slowly upgrading it, I did get a massive backlog, and quite frankly I don't think I actually need this third level at this moment in time. With the current situation, it's working quite well that these 2 dryers are drying the paint sufficiently before hitting the final finish. Now, it was actually the final finish dry here that was actually taking the most length of time as well, which was causing the backlog. So that's, you know, all by. Now, also we had a after improving all those efficiencies, we started having delays waiting for materials. So I've installed a stockpile, and I've set that stockpile for essentially 3 cars worth of stock. So that's going to be the limit at any one time. So the beauty of these stockpiles are you can actually have things delivered in and out at the same time. So if we were getting more stock in, and this line actually required it, like you just saw it there, things were going backwards and forwards, so that this line didn't actually suffer. So that works an absolute treat. So we have basically installed another stockpile here in preparation for this electronics side of things shortly. Let's close that. I've removed the second fitting accessories because I didn't feel that it warranted it, seeing as we still have this little backlog over here. And realistically, some of these cars should be going down here, not sat waiting here, which is a bit frustrating. So I'm actually going to remove, do I want to remove it? Because they should be going down here. Unless this thing's not working. No, he's working, so, well, we'll leave it as it is. I'm not that fussed at the moment. So, what else have I done? Well, you can see our little battery here. We're actually producing energy now. We're actually producing 22,200, but we're consuming 26 to 27,000, etc. Kilowatts or whatever they've called it. So what I've actually done, I've actually upgraded. Well, I've researched my research centers and the additional powering. So we have now got a new research center opposed to the let's open that up, opposed to the research office. The difference in cost is 49,000 for the research office, and it will give us 0.2 points of research per second or whatever, however it worked out. Whereas the research centre, it's a lot more costly. It has a few more people, so it's got 6 employees as opposed to 4, but we're actually doubling the amount of research that's coming out, so that's really good. Now, if we look at our power plants, we've got 2 here now because I've researched the standard and the high output. So this standard power plant costs 30,000 and it gives us 1,800. The higher capacity is over double that, and it doubles the actual amount of power. And I think, well, you might as well just have 2. But the thing is, you're actually reducing. You've only got 3 employees, so let's show you what I mean. So this power plant here is using 3 employees. For the same power, I'm using 6 employees. So I'm reducing my costs on my employees by having those power plants. So I'm going to rip out those now and try and save myself a few pennies. As you see, my power, I'm only using 40%, producing 40%. Let's just drop a couple more of those in. So we're back up to 22,800. We might as well pop in another couple actually. There's no harm in that. So we're now producing 26,000, so we shouldn't really be paying for any energy apart from a little extra as and when. So there we go, there. It dropped, there we go, 29,000. So we have that demand. So I've put these offices in place here, and I've also put them in at the top of here, just so that we can get research going a lot faster. Now, just wanted to show you this. I was looking here before for graphs and I totally forgot it's over here. So what I was trying to look at earlier was our expenses. So if we look at power purchase, in the last hour it has been just short of $5,000, 24 hours 100,000, and all time just short of $1 million. Okay, dollars. So that's a lot of money to actually be paying for energy. Now, as we are actually producing our own, this will drop off quite substantially per hour. Now, I can actually knock that off and show you how much we use an hour, how much it costs us, but I'd rather not. We also had, I did a lot of expansion, and I mean a lot of expansion, and I spent every single penny, so I was forced to take out a loan. So that's what we've got the repayments here of. So we've got, I think it's 9 days in total. So we had 100 and what was the loan value for? Where is it? It is loans there. So it was a 1.5 million loan. So loan total is 1.5 million. Sorry, and the amount we borrowed is 1.3. We have to pay back 1.5. We got 10% interest over 9 days. So it just allowed me to continue to advance how I wanted to. So going back to our expenses, so our raw materials is only a small percentage of what we're actually producing. If we look at our purchases, component purchases, well, do you know what? That is astronomical, over nearly 40. Yeah, I would say just short of 45% of our costs are to do with components. So we need to build everything we can in-house, which will then actually mean that our raw material costs will go up, which is what you'd expect. Our wages, so our production costs, will go up, but the two combined should not be the same as the component purchasing price, which is what we're looking at. Now, our research, we are spending an absolute fortune on this at this moment in time, and that's the idea, just to get everything researched. And while we are actually early in the game, we can actually just get things out of the way, so that we can start looking at making a huge dent into these sort of costs and to see a comparison quite quickly. So that's the idea. What else have we got? We've got income. So we have sold 607 cars of the basic style, and that's basically the base model with the stereo, nothing else. There are peaks here because I reduced the price quite significantly, just to get rid of them, because I had actually increased the price after a little too much, and we got a bit of a backlog, so I reduced the price just to sell out quite significantly. So at the moment we're not selling any at the moment, so that's not good. So we've got two. So at least, let's see what it says now. We're stagnated. It seems underpriced. You'd think if it's underpriced, we wouldn't be stagnated. So that's at 25%. When we were at 30% only a few hours ago, I think about 9 o'clock on this day, it was saying we were overpriced. So you can't win. You just got to keep an eye on things like that as you're playing through. So let's just have a quick scan of what else we've got researched. So we've got quite a list still being researched. I'm kind of just trying to target everything that is available at this moment in time. I don't want to. I want to try and get as much as researched here as possible, because that will then allow me to make a massive change in the actual game. So if I show you what I mean by that, these sections here we can't. We can do the stop engine, etc. We can change engine types, fit radiators. What can we do there? We can't do anything to that. Exhaust, nothing. Wheel assembly, upgrades. No, we can't do anything on that. So we can't even have alloy wheels there yet, even though we've researched them. We can't do anything on the steering accessories, lights. But what we can do, is we can put in. Let's have a look. So we can start making lights. Okay, not unlocked yet. Horn, seats, windscreen, aircon. We haven't actually installed this aircon yet, because I want to try and do it a bit later on, to show you in one fell swoop. So that's what we're doing there. What else we got? So have we got anything else unlocked here? We need to be able to open up other sections, so these, to actually reduce our costs even further and to make our own chassis. So that's did not want to do that. All that. Let's get back to actually just go away. Thank you. Right. Okay. So that's kind of where we're at. So we've, as I say, we've jumped on quite a bit. We are producing quite a significant number of cars. Now we've got 11. So now you're not producing enough cars for this section. Oh, okay. Right, okay. So I was expecting our price to be a little too expensive because we've got 10 cars in stock. That's not the case. All right, so what I'll do, I think we'll leave this episode for now. We'll come back next time. I'll hopefully have researched a lot more. Just so that we can start playing around with things a bit more and start doing some experiments to see how much changing a few parts around will actually make in improving our overall costs. And I'm thinking primarily, where is it? Ooh, no, expenses. Primarily see what we can do with this, because now obviously capital investment is quite significant. Because we've obviously placed the piece down and then sold it. So, but if we look at all time, you can actually see there that the component prices do play a significant part of our costs. So, yeah. Right, okay, so thank you very much again for watching. If you've liked what you've seen, hit that subscribe. And until next time, that's Murphy out.